Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayisha and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get my eyebrows, your eyebrows, whoever's eyebrows super sharp and to get them nice and precise, nice and full looking. Basically how I usually fill in my eyebrows. So if you want to see my brow routine then please keep on watching, and of course make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, got my nails done, and of course comment on which video you want to see from me next. I'm looking to upload more these 2 weeks because I'm off college, thank God. So I'm looking to upload quite a lot during the Easter break, so make sure to let me know what y'all want. So if you want to see how I transform my brows then please keep on watching. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just specifically focusing this video on my eyebrows. I do get them done by someone. She's honestly the best brow person I think I've ever been to in my whole entire life. Anytime I go and get my eyebrows done they just become an absolute riot. But there's this one girl who is a brow god. Her name is BROWS by Fee and she is based in Glasgow. And honestly she is amazing. She makes your brows so precise, so sharp. It's just she's a brow god. I think it's BROWS by Fee on Instagram, so make sure you give her page a look because she is amazing. But you've seen me use this before. This is the Iconic London Brow Cushion and the shade I use is Deep, so I think this is the darkest shade you can get. And this is honestly one of the best eyebrow products on the market. It's absolutely amazing and it's probably the only eyebrows product I've stuck with for the longest. It's that good. I think also a big part of getting your eyebrows super sharp is your brush. So the brush I use is the Anastasia 15 brush. So it's just a slanted angled brush and it's so, like, it doesn't move, like it's so thick. The brush hairs are so thick so it's hard to move, whereas if you were to use, I tried to use this one a while ago, it was the Zeleva wing liner brush, and again the tip of it is so thin but it's really flimsy. Like look how flimsy it is, so you're never going to, if you fill in your eyebrows it's just going to flop about and you're just not going to get a sharp line. So I do recommend using a dense brush that's super thick and it basically doesn't budge when you apply pressure on it. So this is what the brow cushion looks like. So it just comes sealed, so it's never going to dry out, which is great because you can't actually close it if this isn't closed. Like it's not going to close properly, which is great. So your product can never dry out. So you get 2 shades. So you kind of get an ashy brown colour and then you get a really dark deep brown. And what I usually do is I bring this ashy shade towards the front of my brow and then this deep shade I use towards the tail of my brow. You also get a really small spoolie and you get a brush with it as well. But again I feel like this brush is really flimsy, just like the Zeleva one. I'm just going to start filling in my brows. So I'm going to dip in with this shade here. And you literally just need to tap in so lightly. I'm going to start underneath my brow and just try and make my eyebrows just as symmetrical as possible. So I'm just going to start by lining underneath. So you can see how lightly I tapped in, look how much product had come off. Like I've had this since Christmas and honestly you really don't need much of it, it's just amazing. And it's not hard to work with or anything, it's really easy to use. That's what I find with the pomades, so if you're using like ABH dip brow or something like that, like I always need to put oil in them just to make sure it glides on so easy because sometimes they dry out and it's just too much work to use it. So I always put oil in my dip brows if I'm going to use my dip brow, and that just makes it go on so much easier. So now I've filled in the line underneath, so as you can see it's more harsher going towards the tail of the brow and then it just kind of fades. So I never start right here because then it's just going to be far too harsh. I just kind of go after the front part of the brow and then I just drag it along, and then this part I just go forward just with the excess. So now what I'm going to pick up is this dark shade. Pick up quite a lot of that because you do have a lot more hair here, and I'm just going to use this to fill out the tail of my brow. And obviously I do have some hair missing at the tail of my brow as well, so I'm just going kind of with a natural shape on this brow because I feel like this one doesn't really need as much work, whereas this one does. You can see there's like hairs up here which are a lot splasher. So again just dipping back in. And then with the brush I'm just lifting the hairs up at the side just to kind of get them out of the way, just so I can get right underneath at the tail. And what I do is I usually turn my head to the side for this part, just to get this part filled in. So I usually stamp this part and then just drag it down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spoolie and I'm just going to lift these hairs up just to make the brow bone part of the brow just stand out just a little bit more. So I'm going to emphasise that with the darker colour. And I'm just picking up tiny bits because you would rather have too little product and then allow yourself to build it up than having too much. And I'm just going back and forth as well with this part because you do want this part being darker, so it's kind of like a gradient, so this part's lighter in colour and then it just goes darker at the end. Now what I'm going to do with whatever excess is on the brush is I'm going to face the brush towards me and just brush upwards on the front part of my brow. So, and there probably isn't going to even be that much product on it. So I'm just going back and forth towards the tail of my brow, then to the front part of my brow, just to distribute that product that I've already got on my brows. I'm going to take my spoolie and just brush through everything. And now I'm going to go back to this light brown shade, and then I'm just taking a tiny bit and I'm working it again towards the middle part of my brow, and then just working in the front of my brow as well. So for lining underneath the brow I'm going to mix the two shades together and just help bring this in, just so it's not one big block of colour changing from here to here. I'm just dragging that line up just to make it sure it blends because I don't want a harsh line. I'm going to face the brush towards me and I've dipped into the lighter brown colour, and then I'm just going to do brush strokes on the front part of the brow now. So when you're using the brush and facing it towards you, it does form a natural kind of illusion that you've got more hairs at the front of your brow. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this brow in, and I'll just speed it up a little bit just so you can see what I'm doing, and if there's anything I'm changing what I did with this brow to this brow, then I will stop and I'll show you. With this brow, the hairs are a lot lighter here, so I do need to take the darker colour just a bit higher up because I feel like this brow has more of a natural arch in comparison to this one. I don't know if you can see, so I do need to emphasise the arch on this brow just a little bit more. That's me filled in both of my eyebrows, so obviously they're not symmetrical, we do still need to clean them up. So the concealer I'm going to be using for this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. This is in the shade 0.5, and the reason why I use a really light shade to carve out my brows is just to give it a more natural looking highlight. I'm just going to be picking up this flat concealer brush. I think you've seen me use this before, but I'm just going to be using this just to carve out my brows. So I'm not going directly right up to the brows of the hair, I'm going underneath it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of push it upwards. I'm going to zoom you in. Oh. So I'm turning the brush over. So I've placed the concealer just underneath the hairs of my brows, if you can see that. And I'm just kind of going along. And then with this part I kind of push this on. And then I'm just dragging this down. I literally only dipped into the concealer a tiny bit, so a little bit does go a long way with this concealer. Then I'm going to dip in one more time and I'm going to just carve the top of my brow. So with the brush I'm placing it directly flat on the skin, and again just going above the brow at the moment and dragging it round. And then I'm just kind of tilting my head to the side so I can see the arch a bit better. With this part, I'm just going to drag this bit up. And then because we've just got a really light amount of concealer just at this part of the brow, it does help it and make it easier to blend, which is good. So you can see that it does make a difference when you put the concealer around the brow. It does make it really sharp. I'm going to turn it on my side And then I'm going to dip into the concealer, and I'm literally taking the smallest amount at a time. So what I do is when I'm doing this other brow, I make sure that this bottom line of the brow is matching with this one, and it looks as if they are from what I can see. If you see anything different, then I'm so sorry. And I'm just kind of blending the middle line away and just patting it into the skin. I feel like I can sharpen this bit just a tiny bit more. So that's me carved out my eyebrows. You can see that they are looking pretty similar. The ends are both really sharp, which I love. That is what I go for. And then the front is just super brushed out, I feel, not too harsh for the face. So I will zoom you out, and then we'll put some brow gel on, and that'll be us. Oh, that's gone in. Oh, shit. And next what we need to do is just set all that hard work that we have done in place. I go between 3 brow gels because these are the only good brow gels I've ever found. So this is the Anastasia brow gel, and it's a clear one, but because I've had it for so long it is a bit tinted. If you can see, there's some brown in it just now. And then another one I use is the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper, and this is it here. It's really good, so I'll show you the wand on this one. And this does have more of a tapered, so this does have more of a tapered brush, so you can see it's thicker at the top of the wand, and then at the bottom is a bit thinner. And the final gel I use is the Glossy Boy Brow, and this is it here, and it is in the shade brown. So this is my favourite because the wand is so small. So this is it here, and it's honestly so amazing. So these two are coloured ones, and this is a clear brow gel. And the Anastasia one I add just to set the brows if I've got enough colour. I feel maybe that they're dark enough, and that's the reason why I'm going to use the Anastasia one. So I'm just going to brush through my hairs, and it does give them a kind of wet look at first, but it dries down solid, I'm not even kidding on. And then just wiggle the front part from side to side just so it looks a bit more thicker. So that's me filled in my brows. You can see that they're super thick, and they don't look as thick or in your face when you don't have makeup on. I promise you, they look better when you've got makeup on. Okay, so that's me finished for today's video. I hope you had enjoyed, and of course make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, bye!